The photos displayed here are from Hive Jiu Jitsu in Manchester, a martial arts club where I myself trained and spent quite a few months photographing the everyday activity, the daily grind of training Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. At the time, Hive was a specialty no-gi club, meaning that they trained without the traditional jiu-jitsu kimono and instead had the uniform of rash guard, t-shirt, shorts, or sweatpants, depending on your taste. Having taken these photos myself, I find them evocative in a very particular way. I feel that I was still learning, still trying to get the best out of the technology and adapting moment to moment to the setting and the challenges of using such old technology. The question is, what do I do now? And how do I feel now about this work? I don't feel happy. I think that the thought of doing photography, or perhaps the fact that I'm not doing photography, is making me rather depressed. When I look at my work, I know wholeheartedly that there's more complicated stories to be told, that things can progress, and that I can more fully use the camera to describe situations, narratives, identities. I feel more motivated than ever, but there's so many things that are limiting my ability to fulfill my dreams. Having had a great deal of time to examine my older work, I'm able to see the positives and the negatives in it. And the thing I'd most like to do is replicate the positives. I feel that 6 by 9 centimeter medium format gives me the opportunity to do something cinematic. There's something about the level of detail and the level of scale that is very difficult to replicate unless you're using digital medium format, which is extremely expensive. Working on medium format roll film is very meditative, and you have to put an awful lot of thought into what shot you're going to take. It takes time to roll the film along, and also reloading the camera is quite time consuming. Using this particular format offers you approximately 9 times more detail than 35mm. And depending on the ISO of the film you use, you can pull at least 50 megapixels of detail from the negative, enough to use the pictures for 8K video. One of my big dreams is to use the film camera as if it was an IMAX film camera, place it on a tripod and take several sequential shots in order to simulate a form of motion capture, as well as mixing in 16mm motion and storytelling photographs on 35mm. I think the most optimal use of these formats is in combination as montage. My more long term ambition is to document the everyday training as well as everyday lives and also competition between clubs. I'd like to show people's ambitions within the sport, where they came from, how their choice of martial art reflects who they are as a person, molds them, and how their everyday functioning is affected by training martial arts. One thing I've had in the back of my mind throughout all this photography is the actual personal experience I had training and the experience of letting go and being in the moment while sparring, and also the feeling of letting go and being in the moment while doing photography. They're quite similar feelings, although quite radically different in terms of the outcome. What I'd really enjoy is to have different practitioners explain the feeling, to describe what it's like and how they came to find this point through all the anxiety and initial worry, how they gained lived experience in order to find this flow state. Hicks and Gracie describes it as a neutral point where you feel like you're concentrating and you're relaxed at the same time, not really thinking, but trying to react to every single moment. This is something I gained as a photographer by watching a great deal of martial arts and gaining an ability to anticipate when the action would come and being able to isolate submission attempts, sweeps, and other high action moments. This is Broken Bones Photography. Thanks for listening.